Welcome viewers to Dr. Tuteja Talk Show. Today we have a living legend of Indian Academy of Pediatrics in our show. We'll be updating you all about impact of climate changes on human health. He is nothing but a person well known in Indian Academy of Pediatrics, Professor H Paramesh. Lot of qualifications. If I enumerate, the talk will be over. Visiting Professor, Physician Scientist, Tuteja Center for Climate Changes, IISC. Founder, President, Chairperson, Chairman Member and past Chairperson, Respiratory Chapter of IIP. Respiratory Chapter, Karnataka. Environmental Chapter, Allergy, Immunology Chapter, Indian Medical Association, Bangalore East. Visiting Professor, USA, Canada, Italy, Nepal, UK, Australia, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. Founder, Permanent Chairman, Dr. H Paramesh Education Trust, 1982. Founder, member and advisor, Thalassemia Society, Bangalore. Advisor to WHO, UNICEF, World Bank, COMHED, and Alliance for Global Health, Geneva. 849 invited scientific papers, talk, 50 oration award, and many chapters in 38 textbooks. 119 publication in national and international journals. Past National President, Indian Academy of Allergy. Past National President, Pediatric Association of India, 2015. Local, state, national and international awardee for his work in environment and health. Past National President COMHED, UK, India chapter 2021 and 2022. Received Lifetime Achievement Award from Indian Academy of Pediatrics, IAP 2022. Co-chairman, International Pediatric Association of Environment Health, White Coat Legend, India 2024, Dogflix and Mankind Pharma. Lifetime Achievement Award, Jokto 2025. We are proud to have you, sir, on this show. Our aim of life is to update the society, not only the doctors, but the population of our India, so that they know what is going on in the medical field, updating them. If you like our show, subscribe the channel. Your suggestion, comments are always welcome. Thank you very much. I welcome Dr. Paramesh sir.
Okay.
To
So
start.
good afternoon, sir. Indeed, it's a great honor to participate in your talk show and educating the society and physicians' knowledge very well to safeguard the future Earth of this planet. And indeed, my brothers and sisters of the Indian Academy of Pediatrics, I would like to assign the talk on the climate changes impact on the human health. I like to sensitize what best we can do it ourselves. And I'll go with the talking directly now. So first slide, please, maybe.
You can share the slides. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, sir, visible.
Okay. Next slide, please. Okay. Well, climate change to happen, it takes 3 decades. But climate change does happen mainly from the global warming, that is also from the air pollution. They're all interrelated. If you look at the species, nature has created of the millions of species, human species is only 0.01%. And the greediness in this human species, we spoiled all the Panchabhutas, what we call air, water, sky, fire, and earth. And sea level is rising, precipitation is happening. This has got an impact directly on our health, indirectly through the agriculture, water resources, coastal areas indentation, and also cryosphere diminishing, causing a lot of problems to us. We just want to sensitize the people what best we can do to minimize the impact on human species and other species as well. Next slide, please. Okay. Now, if you look at the 2017 WHO data published in Lancet, so 70% of the diseases are coming from the environmental pollution. Those are all non-communicable diseases. And in that, 70% of the non-communicable diseases come from the air pollution in India, 20% from the water pollution, and land and chemicals, pesticides, fertilizers, what we are using, fungicides, that from about 10% of the time. Nearly 24,60,000 premature deaths does occur in India, mainly from the usage of the fossil fuel. Now, if you look at the sustainability of life, we need three basic things. One is air. You cannot live without breathing air for more than 3 minutes. Second is water. You cannot survive more than 3 days without taking a drop of water. Third is from the food. You cannot start eating a grain of rice more than 3 weeks. The welfare losses from the environmental pollution is constitute nearly $4.6 trillion. It amounts to nearly 6.2% total budget of the global. There is a wide scientific consciousness that climate change is the reality and the defining issues of the 21st century. Okay. So now air pollution is a silent killer. It has an impact from womb to tomb. Studies have shown globally nearly 43% of the chronic lung diseases, 29% of the lung cancer, 25% of the heart diseases, 24% of the stroke are related to the silent killer, what we call air pollution. Next. Next. Again. Next. Okay, now, when you talk about the pollution, we have two things. One is the particulate matters and all the gases. So it is important to know that a particulate matter more than 10 microns and water-soluble gases like sulfur dioxide, chlorine, they impact upper respiratory tract. Particulate matter 10 to 2.5 micron, and also medium water-soluble gas like ozone, which is indirectly produced, that affect the lower respiratory tract and the alveoli. Less than 0.2 micron, water-insoluble gases like nitrogen dioxide, they cross this 11 layers of the lung, enter the bloodstream. Once they reach the bloodstream of the mucous membrane of the blood vessel, the small congregation of platelet happen. That will be carried all over the body, including the brain, and impact on all the vital organs, producing all the diseases. And also epigenetic changes also it happen in future children and future generation going to be suffered in the future from this one. Next. Okay. If you look at the source of air pollution, global warming, climate change, about 1,000 years ago, the carbon footprint, carbon emission was only 270 parts per million. It is only from the natural way of carbon emission was there at the time, from the respiration of the human beings, animals, and also volcanic eruptions, decomposition, natural leaves and all these things. Burning of once in a while it used to happen, forest fires. From these things is only it used to happen carbon footprint, which is the most common major contributing factor for the global warming. But today, in addition to that, we have the deforestation for industrialization and burning of the fossil fuel from the automobiles, number of automobiles is increasing, and our cement jungle is coming out and all the thing, emitting lot of cement jungle emit heat at night time, absorb heat during daytime, emit at night time. And it's always 2 degrees, center of the city is 2 degrees higher than surrounding areas, even the park areas. Now, after the industrialized and also non-vegetarian people, so animal production, which has to reach the intense animal agriculture for feed the non-vegetarian people, that's also a contributing factor. Now, in the mid 1800, the industrialization started. So from there, 280 carbon dioxide going up and up again. You can see the graph. And as of March 22, NASA says carbon dioxide footprint is 417 part per million. Now, the genesis of carbon dioxide, other greenhouse gases by anthropogenic activity, we all know. We produce 3 times more carbon dioxide than the Mother Earth can able to manage. So 84% of global warming comes from the carbon dioxide, 9% from the methane, nitrous oxide 5%, fluorinated gases 2%. The lifespan of greenhouse carbon dioxide, 80% it takes 20 to 200 years, 20% thousands of years to get eliminated. Nitrogen dioxide, 114 years, methane, 12 years. Sometimes water vapor and ozone, they decay very rapidly, but some amount of global warming, they do contribute. Next slide. So now what happened? We are in the life existence is at stake on the earth. Because if you look at the 3 degrees of climate destabilization, so now carbon dioxide has got a catastrophic phase that is 450 part per million. If we go further, more than that one, so irreversible damage going to happen to for the earth between 425 to 600 part per million. If carbon goes there, the temperature of our earth going to go up to 2.2 to 4 degrees centigrade. If we reach more than 600 carbon dioxide part per million, where the temperature can reach up to 5 degrees, 60 degrees, the extinction of all the species will happen in this earth. We like to maintain carbon dioxide footprint 250 part per million so that we can keep the temperature by end of the century 1.5 degree. It is not possible. Now we are aiming at least 2 degrees centigrade. Let's work for that. What are the impact it has been having? Let's look into those things. Next slide, please. We breathe to get energy and motility. What the food we eat, what the water we drink, it gives only energy for 10%. 90% of our energy comes from the oxygen. A rested person takes about 500 liters of oxygen per day. Active person, like 1,000 liters. Sports people need about 1,500 liters per day. To get this oxygen, we need to breathe in and out about 10,000 liters. And also 10,000 liters of blood needs to be circulated, carry the oxygen, where heart has to pump that much. If you look at the cost of oxygen, 30 liters per minute, we need 15,000 oxygen rupees per day per the resting person. We need 30,000 rupees for active people like us. 30,000 people lead the rupees for the oxygen what we breathe in a day. We get free of cost. We know all of us, we have the vehicles. We ask this question, does your car or van, whatever it uses, motorbike, which uses petrol and diesel, does it need oxygen? Many of them don't know. Yes, it needs oxygen to consume. 1 liter of petrol needs for consumption 1,700 liters of oxygen per liter, where it can be only 10 kilometers. So this comes nearly about, to get that one, the engines absorb 8,500 liters of air in the circulation to get that much of oxygen. So it amounts to move 10 kilometers in a city, you need about 50,000 rupees. So nearly 1 lakh of rupees nature is providing free of oxygen. Our greediness will spoil the whole thing. We have to wake up and act now. This is time to act. So nature is providing free oxygen. Let us not flourish by doing this one. Let's save the Mother Earth so that every species can sustain life here. Now, if you look at all the pollutants, lung takes the major brunt. So I think if you look at the allergic airway disease and comorbidities, the chronic lung diseases, allergic rhinitis has gone up from common population 22.5% to 50%. In asthmatic, gone up to 75% to 100%. And the comorbidities contribute significantly for morbidity and mortality. In average people, non-allergic children, otitis media is 9%. In allergic children is 22.5%. And it is the most common cause, deaf ears. So we have to be careful, examine the children thoroughly. If allergic sinusitis in general population is only 1%, in allergic rhinitis children is over 34%. Compared to the lower respiratory tract, asthma in 1979 was about 9%, in 20 years gone up to 29.5% steadily. That has been correlated, change the demography of the city of Bangalore. And then what happens? We thought it's going to go up, but in 2004, 2009, it is coming down. We got worried about it. Through the WHO, we all met in Australia, and Peter Sly chairmanship. Why it is coming down? The same data what I have observed in Bangalore is shown all over the other parts of the world. So we concluded at that time, this is mainly because saturation of the genetically inherited population. In future, you may not be able to see that much of thing, a small peak here and there you see. However, continued exposure of the people who are existed, they continue to have persistent asthma where need constant medication, particularly severe asthma where it is uncontrolled, the marker is very high in them. Sure enough, what they say, the persistent asthma gone up to 20% to 72%, where they need constant controller medication along with quick reliever. And persistent severe asthma, where the repeated admission mortality is very high, is gone from 4% to 11%. Having said that, let's move further. Chronic cough. I think in Bangalore, in 1919, it was 8%. It is steadily gone up to 21.2% in 2017. That's mainly from the hypothesis ozone. It has been proven out. It is the real cause for that. Every year there is a 0.5% increase in Bangalore population having chronic coughing more than 2 weeks, which is disturbs the sleep. That's what I'm trying to say, chronic cough. But if you look at the other comorbidities, the prevalence of chronic cough, we have the snoring population. If you look at the children, an average population, general pediatrics, they come there, we found only 8% of the children are snorers. When asked the parent, they say he snores. But only 1.05% disturbs the sleep. Otherwise, this is, we don't worry about it. But chronic cough children, they have sleep disorder with 27%. In them, they have snoring 42% and mouth breathing 43%, eye rubbing 27.5%, conjunctivitis, a part and parcel of allergic rhinitis, and bruxism, grinding the teeth at night, 17%, and 3.2% have laryngeal dyskinesia, where the voice box comes closer and they have often been mistaken, treated like asthma. The only thing what we had to do at that time, we make the parent train them in laryngeal dyskinesia, you have problem getting the air in and the air out. So you have to breathe like a dog, panting like this is how you breathe. I think that will be, we have to educate the society in this context. So if you look at the outdoor air pollution, children of heavy traffic school areas suffer more from asthma. It further increases and socio-economic children. I think this is what it's school in heavy traffic. If you look at these are all the children 6 to 15 years. Heavy traffic school, more than 500 traffic, they have 11.15% wheezing. But school heavy traffic, more than 500 vehicles moving in that school area, that are 19.34%. And where the children coming for poor social in indoor air pollution also, that's a 31.14% asthma in these children. And also, then people ask, what do you say it is outdoor air pollution? That's why I took a study. It took 4 years for me to do, where 1,045 traffic police officers, 1,160 non-traffic officers we did between 1994 to 1999. And you can see double the number of traffic police officers who are exposed to outdoor air pollution have asthma, chronic cough, shortness of breath, rhinitis, wheezing, urticaria, shortness of breath. These are all the things have been published. Next slide, please. And during Diwali festival, asthma gets triggered bursting of the crackers, and there is an increase, 100% increase in the emergency room in our study shows. We didn't do the pollution at that time. So Sandeep Salvi from Pune is my dear friend. We founded Pune atmosphere. When the bursting of the cracker, sulfur dioxide, the water-soluble gas will come up there. That's a 200 times higher. higher than the limits recommended by the WHO. That is the causing the problem and all this thing. So these data helped in bringing out the Supreme Court judgment 31st July 2017. Next slide, please. The increased temperature in summer season has shown increase in the asthma episodes over 2 decades up to 10-fold. Asthma in summertime, I told 2.8% in 1994 is gone up to 28.8%. So we hypothesize from the production of the ozone, emissions, automobiles emission, summertime bright sunlight will be there, wind velocity is less, ozone will be produced. Ozone is extremely irritant to the respiratory tract and it has got a cumulative effect. And we highlighted it, ozone hypothesized. Now it is a mortality from ozone increased by 46% from 2000 as of Lancet 2023. Next slide. So source of indoor air pollution, we did a study from the Ministry of Environment for Government of India. Aerobiologicals we have and irritants we have. Dust mites is the most common cause in Bangalore, we identified. We have 50% of the asthma come from the dust mite. So for every gram of dust in the house, 500 dust mites are there. It needs 100 dust mite sensitized, 500 dust mite to bringing wheezing. Cockroaches is a 25% allergy, pollen 7.5%, fungi 7.5%, pets in 1979 4.25%, 2009 we have 5.4%. They are not the cause for the asthma and all this thing. And as a matter of fact, they are needed persistent asthma, depression, and all the thing. And virus, 40% children come from the viral respiratory syncytial virus, parainfluenza, coronavirus, adeno and rhinoviruses. It has been published. Irritants like cigarette smoking in 1994, 6%, 2004, 7.9%. Mosquito coil burning equal to 100 cigarette. Burning was 5%, and 2000 has gone up to 7.9%. So now you are using cooking formaldehyde, agriculture waste and all the non-commercial cooking habit, thus contribute significantly for indoor air pollution. Next slide, please. The indoor air pollution, if you look at that one, we did a study. Nearly 0.2 billion people use cooking fuel. Firewood, 49%, cow dung cake, 8.9%, coal, charcoal, lignite, 0.1%. And this is what it is. So if you are the commercial cooking fuel, electricity is the best, 1.2%. Gas, if you use 2.6%, pollution is less. Kerosene, if you 8.3%. But if you use the non-commercial cooking fuel like firewood, agriculture waste, dung cakes, nearly 48% of them, they have asthma in indoor air pollution. And indoor air pollution, tobacco smoke, we have to worry about it. Tobacco smoking habit, we wanted to study. We found that if one person smokes in the house, there is 2 to 3-fold increase in the asthma in that family. And also we have to find out about what is the tobacco habit before we demonstrate and convince the society to ban the tobacco public places. It has happened from our study. I think urban children, 41% started smoking first time. 3,000 children we did at the age of 10 years. Rural children at the age of 10 years, 21.8%. 36% of the urban women ladies club is there. They are the women, they smoke. They are playing cards during the day. They are working husband, spending wife. In the morning, they go to the club. They play cards until the evening, and all they want only imported cigarette also. However, we are lucky. Other people in general, rural farm workers, only 2% of smoking. So this is what a list of these are all the data presented 2001 to our Chief Minister, where Karnataka, the first state we banned the tobacco smoke in the country. 2003, all over India, it's been banned. So now, then we analyze the 1,005 high school children. What make you to go into the smoking? This is what we have to educate in the school. Peer pressure, 29%, curiosity, 8%, pleasure and fashion, 16%, frustration, 12%, status symbol, 10%, relieve tension, 8%, and concentration, 5%, other reasons they quoted. I think this is what happened. And after we banned in 2001, 2016 to 7, GATT study has shown there is a 5.4% decrease in the smoking habit. However, working girls, they increased 7% in them, smoking habit. Next slide, please. So e-vaping is the one we have to educate the society now. Acute paralytic lung injury, it happens just like tobacco smoke. We have to educate the society in this context. Next. Apart from the respiratory problem, let's see the air pollution, non-pulmonary disease. Coagulopathy syndrome I mentioned about in the water-soluble particulate matters less than 2.2 micron. What happens? The platelet aggregation happens in blood vessels. They carry and deposit in various areas. That's what central coagulopathy syndrome comes from that one. And blood pressure is increased, cardiovascular disease, and also recently some observation has made in Delhi that then if you inhale if he's living in the city of Delhi, if you inhale 10 micron particulate matter, non-cardiovascular problem like congenital heart disease, non-cyanotic congenital heart disease is more. If it's less than 2.5 current is very high, you have cyanotic and multiple defects, cardiovascular disease, stroke, cancer, diabetes, obesity, baldness, chronic liver disease and liver cancer, chronic kidney cancer, all related. This has been published or data. It is from the air pollution itself. Further to that, air pollution impact in the central nervous system of the various ways it has. It produces autism, dementia, Alzheimer's disease, cognitive performance, anosmia, neurodegenerative disease have been highlighted. Next slide. The outdoor air pollution, dementia, the outdoor air pollutants are risk factor for dementia. That when you reduce the exposure to pollution, could reduce dementia. Recently, it has been come as of 2025. So, and also in addition to that, air pollution contributes to behavior problem on polluted days. On polluted days in your city, there is an increased crime rate, impaired judgment, worse test scores in a polluted days, reduced productivity in the work, immune suppression can happen. It produces more of infections, pneumonia, and a whole lot of other things. Depression, decreased intelligence quotient, increased anxiety, all are related to behavior problem from the air pollution on that day. Noise pollution, so Indian cities rank high on noise pollution, and it has got a cumulative effect like ozone. The high frequency deafness in newborns, prematurity, intra-uterine growth failure, sleep disturbance, annoyance, headache, decreased work efficiency, poor school performance, all been related. As a chairman of the World Bank project on Carnatic environment, we published this in 2003, a book on the air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution, noise pollution. Now we have to think of the light pollution also in this context. And also, mother who lives very near the highway, and also studies if you inhale to 35 micron, 53 micron, small particulate matter, there is 4-fold increase in asthma in them. And also these children born with a small airway caliber, they have a persistent asthma, COPD, respiratory cripple later on in life. What measures we can do air pollution, global climate change? I think we have all the stakeholders are there in the picture. We have the industries, the energy source, water resources, agriculture, transport, construction, and housing, all these things, we have to educate them, these industries. So eliminate the existing emissions a must by educating these industries. We have to reduce the pollution at source. Population growth has to come down. If your population becomes more, demand becomes more, energy becomes more. We have to work on that one. Protect the affected people by doing the research based on our land data. Next slide, please. I think if you look at the global warming, the individual commit to reduce the carbon footprint. Government is doing their way, WHO is doing its own way, United program doing that way, and unfortunately, United States moved away from this one, WHO. They produce 16 tons of carbon footprint per person per year. The global average is 4 tons per person per year. India produces 1.05 tons per person per year. And also, the recommended United Nations program is to keep the 2 degrees centigrade at the end of this century. you have to work for reduce the 2 tons per person per year. That's what I recommend. Even though we are the less, our leaders have agreed, let us save the whole world. So human race. That's what we agreed to do ourselves, what we can do. Next slide. So if you don't have any car, so you can save 2.04 ton of carbon footprint per year. And if you use the electrical car, you save 1.95 ton of carbon footprint per year. The flight, unnecessary flight here and there. So if you travel 1 hour, you produce 90 kg of carbon footprint per person. So if you look from London to Delhi to London, 1 ton per passenger carbon footprint we produce it. So combine the effort together, unnecessary travel in the flight, probably we reduce it as much. So if you practice that one, you can say 1.68 ton per person per year. So renewable energy, clean energy is a must using biomass, geothermal, solar, water, wind. By that one, we can save carbon footprint 1.68% per year. I think for energy, daytime you can use solar energy, nighttime windmills. I think we can produce enough energy to our needs in our country without using the other one. And I still remember atomic energy. My late friend, good friend Raja Ramana, atomic energy scientist, he said, Paramesh, clean energy comes from atomic source. We should use the thorium, not the uranium, so that other countries can squeeze us. We have enough thorium in Godavari area that you can do that. When the waste can be stay in the plant itself, when somewhere some reason will come, reuse that one. I think about 3 years ago, we found the waste can be reused. I think we can think in that angle only, using the atomic energy. So public transport we use, we can save 0.98 tons per year. And we have to reduce, reuse, repair, recycle electronics, clothes, other items. Just because sale is there, buying clothes, new clothes, and hanging over there. And also, some of them, they never opened years together. And need-based purchase, we need to do it. Repeat what you can, recycle it. I think our tradition is, usually we recycle in India 70% of the time. America, they use only 30% of the time. Our practice has to be encouraged for the children in the future. And refurbishment to renovation of our houses, we have to build our houses based on our Vastu. Vastu is the basic mathematics. It gives a good cross ventilation, good sunlight in the house, and indoor plants, we use it. These are all the plants you can use indoor ones. They give enough, absorb more of a formaldehyde, volatile organic compound. It gives the oxygen. And by that one, you can save the carbon footprint of nearly 0.9 tons per year per person. Diet, I think Indian diet is the best. More plant days with fiber and oxidant is very essential for us. The antioxidant heal the process because air pollution produces damage from the oxidative stress. Antioxidant would help that. More plant-based diet will give enough antioxidant. If you use 1 kg of vegetable, it produces 1 kg of carbon dioxide. If you use 1 kg of non-vegetable, it produces 5 to 35 kg of carbon dioxide. The highest carbon dioxide comes from the red meat, that is the beef. And we have to look into that one. Food Safety Standard Authority got to India says, so 2019, use 10% less what you eat, less salt, less oil, less sugar. And so this is what they recommend. By that, you can save the carbon footprint 0.8 tons per year. Heat pumps building accounts nearly 40% carbon dioxide emission. LED lights without blue tinge focus on roads, not on trees and building. Turn off the light when you're not used. If you practice this type of thing, you can save lead to 0.8 per ton per person per year. Improving the cooking equipment. Use a smaller application. If you have small, those are anything like a big pan, you are wasting the energy. Pick a proper pan. Avoid excess frost in the refrigeration. Remove the frosting as much as possible because you're wasting energy there. When you're cooking, look for a blue flame. Yellow flame, which means gas is burning inefficiently. By that, if you practice in the house, you can save carbon footprint of 0.6 ton per year. And also, so in villages, I was from a village. When I came from US after 11 years stay, I went there in my village. I started gobar glass plant. My mother used to use wood, all these things, smoking and all, coughing and all these things. Then I used the biogas plant we had gobar gas plant, cooking without any tears and all these things. Cows gives nutrition, milk and milk products. Cow dung used for the gobar gas for cooking. Leftover residue used for the organic manure. After it is dead, skin can be used leather industry. It always an economic gain, whether alive or dead. That's what Go Mata we call them because of that one. Next slide, please. So, ladies and gentlemen, a healthy breath will always bring a healthy life. Let each one teach one, plant one tree of the local area, maintain it. It gives free oxygen for 4 people. Maintain it. And what I want to say, please follow 4 P's, what Paramesh says. Always let's go to the party, even if it is there, something good thing going to happen. Let's have a positive thinking. We protect the Mother Earth any cost. So please avoid producing carbon footprint. Pursue our research for sustenance of life. Think locally, act locally, propagate globally. In addition to that, what is the good thing from the other countries and literature? We take it, adapt to ourselves, to our needs. Let us propagate our national that has come from the thousands of years. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. We had one planet, we had one future, and we are all one family. And also recently, COP30 happened in Brazil. WWF says if the global warming produces yield in the agriculture going to be less and component of protein, vitamins and B complex and minerals going to be less, how to plan the agriculture, they did it. They said, if you want to eat American way, consuming food American way and wasting, you need to feed the whole 8 billion people in the earth. You need 5.5 earth. Australia need about 6 to 7 earth. Indian way of what you are eating, it needs only 0.8%. Indian eating habit is the best habit. That's what I recommend WWF as of November 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patient hearing. Any question, I'll be more than happy to answer.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You have enlightened the whole IPNs and the public of our country.
Yes, sir.
You have shown a future of Indian population in our country if they don't take care.
Yes.
It is a dreadful situation which we have shown with so much of database. I think the IIP and Government of India should take the action on it with the help of NGOs. So many NGOs, private and international and national, they can take care and educate the population. I think the best teaching is start from the school age. If we start from the schools of our country through Adolescent Health Academy also and Indian Academy of Pediatrics,
Yes.
I think we can change the scenario at least of our own country.
Yes, sir.
That's what I feel after listening to your talk. It's a beautiful talk and very narrative, but it is very really enlightening to all the population and Indian Academy of Pediatrics. Thank you so much, sir, being with us on this show. You have honored me by coming on this show, and I am sure that the IPN, each and every 28,000 IPN on my site, Adolescent India, they will listen to it, they will follow it, and save the country, save the population, save ourselves, save our family, and save our home, and save our country. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Indeed, it is my pleasure interacting with you. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.